Day 2 of the Chinese Prime Minister's tour of Kenya as he winds up his four-nation trip in Africa. And in keeping with his administration's Look East policy, President Uhuru Kenyatta hosted Premier Li Keqiang at State House, Nairobi, with focus being on the signing of 15 agreements between Kenya and the Asian economic giant, running into billions of shillings. The agreements include grants, interest-free loans and concessional loans that China will extend to Kenya. National Treasury Cabinet Secretary Henry Rotich committing Kenya to 5 of the 15 agreements, with China's Commerce Minister Gao Hucheng signing for the communist nation.
China will always be a true friend of Kenya, and I believe with joint efforts, our friendship and cooperation will continue to boom.
Undoubtedly, the partnership that Kenya has had with China, especially over the last 10 to 12 years, is a partnership that has been mutually beneficial and has gone a long way towards helping us achieve our socio-economic agenda.
Other sectors that will benefit from today's Kenya-China agreements include wildlife, aviation and agriculture, the Chinese government offering technical and financial assistance in the construction of the High Grand Falls multipurpose dam project in the arid Tana region. The 15 agreements signed today are part of the commitments worth over 425 billion shillings that President Kenyatta secured when he visited China in August last year.
And we have agreed is that we shall convene a bilateral advisory council, and when adopted, the council will provide an ideal forum for constant and fruitful engagement at every level, most especially in the implementation, monitoring, and evaluation of various initiatives and agreements concluded so far.
During the bilateral talks, the Chinese government committed to secure a market for Kenyan projects in the world's most populous nation and also encourage its citizens to invest in Kenya. It also offered to help in the establishment of an industrial park to support the Kenyan manufacturing sector. But China is largely benefiting from trading with Kenya. The 2013 economic survey indicating that Kenya exported to China goods worth 4.2 billion shillings, but imported goods worth 182.3 billion shillings.
It is true that there is a trade imbalance between our two countries. Here, let me say, China has no intention to deliberately pursue a trade surplus with Kenya. Rather, China has been taking steps to balance trade with Kenya. If trade imbalance persists, it will make sustainable growth of trade very difficult.
The Chinese premier reiterating his government's interest in the restoration of sanity and rule of law in Somalia, with Kenya expected to continue playing a key role in saving the Horn of Africa nation.
China is also prepared to provide supplies of assistance through Kenya for the repatriation of the Somali refugees. China firmly supports the efforts of Kenya in safeguarding state sovereignty and stability, developing the economy and improving people's lives.
The 15 agreements signed today were a curtain raiser for the putting of pen to paper of a loan agreement tomorrow to fund the construction of the standard gauge railway line from Mombasa to Nairobi. China will offer Kenya a 277 billion shillings loan, that is 85% of the total cost of the railway line's construction. The ceremony, to be held at State House, Nairobi, will be witnessed by Presidents Yoweri Museveni of Uganda, Jakaya Kikwete of Tanzania, Paul Kagame of Rwanda, and Salva Kiir Mayardit of South Sudan. The standard gauge railway line that will cost Kenya 327 billion shillings is set to ease transport of goods and passengers from Mombasa to Nairobi to Kampala and Kigali, with a branch to Juba. Francis Gashuri, Citizen Weekend.